In this video, we'll cover the software requirements for using Fusion 360 in Discovery Live. During this video, you should check your own computer to make sure that you will be able to install the software necessary to continue the course. You should also use the information in this video to determine if the student computers at your school will be able to run the programs. Again, the two programs you will need to install are Discovery Live, made by ANSYS, and Fusion 360, made by Autodesk. Both of these programs are free for educational use, both for teachers and students, making them an excellent choice for most schools. Students can also install them on their home computers and continue their learning outside the classroom. Before looking at the specific requirements of each program, let's look at some important generalities. Fusion is able to run on both Apple's and Windows machines, but Discovery Live is currently only available on Windows-based machines. Both require a processor with a 64-bit architecture. Some older computers still run on 32-bit processors and will not be compatible. In a minute, we'll see how you can check to see what type of computer you have. Both programs require a fair amount of graphical processing and memory. We'll see more specific details for each in a minute. Lastly, besides being necessary for downloading and installing, a good internet connection is needed for Fusion 360 in order to store files and use cloud-based services like physics simulation. Let's first look at Fusion 360, which has easier system requirements. This page is updated with each new release of Fusion 360. A link is provided below the video. Fusion can run on OS X as far back as 10.3 and Windows 8.1, though newer operating systems are preferred. Other critical requirements include a 64-bit processor and at least 4 GB of RAM. If you're on a Mac, you can determine if you meet these requirements by going to the Apple menu in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, then clicking on About This Mac. In the Overview tab of the window that pops up, you should be able to see what version of OS X you are running, and the type of processor you have, and the amount of memory or RAM. If your processor is a Core Duo, you have a 32-bit processor and Fusion won't work. Pretty much any other type of processor, including Core 2 Duo, Xeon, i3, i5, i7, etc., are 64-bit and will work. On a Windows computer, you can find information about your processor, memory, and operating system by opening the control panel. Click on System and Security, then System. You should get a summary of your computer that includes the version of Windows that is running, the type of processor, and how much RAM is installed. Now let's look at the system requirements of ANSYS Discovery Live, which are a little more demanding. Even if your computer isn't able to run Discovery Live, you can still complete the portions of this course that only depend on Fusion 360. This page, linked in the video information below, has the freely downloadable products that ANSYS offers for educational purposes. Of the products, the most intuitive is Discovery Live. It allows students to focus on learning science instead of a complex simulation tool. Under System and Browser requirements, you can see that 8 GB of RAM is required, and more importantly, a dedicated NVIDIA Graphical Processing Unit, or GPU. Most quality modern laptops and desktop computers will have this, or can have one installed. To check your Windows machine, open the Device Manager through the Start menu and look under the Display Adapters. Most NVIDIA GPUs produced after 2013 will meet the requirements, but a Google search of your card type should give you more information. The download of Discovery Live includes a GPU compatibility utility that runs automatically at the end of the installation process and will tell you if your GPU is compatible and drivers are up to date. So if in doubt, you can always try this. Here's a summary of the most important system requirements for Fusion 360 and Discovery Live. Remember that links to the detailed requirements are below. Spend some time now reviewing the specifications of your computer, then move on to the next lesson where you will install the software on your computer.